now, 2008. Anyway, so, direction. Okay.
What were you facing?
Than you think it would be.
Yeah,
Okay, so the direction, what I need is like which way you want to like, okay, when you start off, this idea from her, by the way, whatever the thing is, but like direction, like if you want to like focus on like cosplay or like videos, I think you can cosplay before you do videos, pretty sure. Like photo shoots, like you need the direction then that you need to work in, I guess, first. Like start off instead of like going many places and getting a slow I don't think you say don't bring him into this. It's not that kind of turtle. Victor. He's a turtle.
Yes, in our family we have a pet cat and a pet turtle. Yes.
I don't even know how the details sound out. I really don't. I just came on one day and they're like, "You're a cat," and I'm like, what? But basically, like the direction thing, it's like, you know, it's like, okay, once you have a group and maybe you have like a couple of cosplays and you maybe want to get like a little bit more into it or get like closer as a group or whatever, you know, you can choose to either maybe make your cosplays even more over the edge than they already are, if that's even possible. Or maybe you want to like focus on just doing like amazing skits, like, you know, Phantom Hive Service has just really amazing skits, like they focus on that a lot. Or some people you see on DeviantArt, they just have like boatloads of photos that are in like beautiful locations that they focus on.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it's just like, you kind of can decide on it as a group. It's just kind of like what all your interests are and just what you want to go with it.
And occasionally even you might just have a group to just have fun. You don't need to be professional. You don't need to, you know, go out and do this stuff. You can take random derp shots and just go and have fun.
I think you need like a certain level of professionalism though.
Occasionally,
derping, well, it's not really a group, it's just kind of a group of friends that are like, hanging out.
Well, obviously there are different opinions on this. It's really up, you know, it's really up to you, cosplay groups or whatever you make them. And you can definitely be part of more than one group, so yeah.
You would know. Anyway, experiences with members. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with my experiences, and whoever wants to cough up theirs can go ahead. But okay. You are being rude.
We have level in display, right?
Speaking of members, you have this guy over there who's like throwing papers around and just being distracting. Oh,
hi there.
There's no camera. There's no camera here. You and Romano.
Guys, okay. Okay, so members. For me, like, I'm kind of like, you know, the founders who like... Just kidding. Okay, so like, the thing about members, okay, so I kind of had... Mother!
What's up?
I was trying to sneak in.
What's up?
We're starting this kind of a running joke.
Okay, so about members. So for me, like, being like the founder, I kind of had to like deal with members usually. Like, you know, unfortunately having to kick people out or like maybe adding people or like finding the members. But like my experience is like, if someone's uncomfortable with a member, you know, like it needs to be dealt with. And usually I've had to deal with it with the people that were uncomfortable. And like, you know, you have to really confront people. You can't be afraid in a group to confront people if like there's like an uncomfortable situation. Or, like,
What's up?
Fastly late. Okay.
Nice to meet you.
So, like, yeah. Just like my experiences are just like, you know, having to deal with uncomfortableness, and you have to confront it in a group. Like you can't just let it slide because it kind of gets bigger and bigger until like it explodes in your face a bit. So like I would just say deal with it as soon as possible and like try to come to a good conclusion. But if nobody's cooperating, then you kind of have to take matters into like your own hands, like decide what is happening, you know. And then you guys want to talk about members? Let's be brief, be amazing.
Well, shoot, I had something in my mind. We have all had situations, like everyone here, where we've had to add members, take away members, and mostly kicking out a member is really hard, especially if they're close, which we haven't really had that many problems with. And second of all, if they are a very important part in your cosplay. Like we have had to kick out people. We have had to kick out our Sora, main character in Kingdom Hearts.
Also in D-Grandman, that I was
Yeah.
Also,
We didn't really kick him out, he kind of just walked out.
Yeah, it's the whole situation where we looked on the page and went from 13 members to 12 in a
that's
night.
not cool. If you're gonna quit a group, say something for the love of Dumbledore. Say something, like seriously.
May he rest in peace.
No.
That's that old dude with the hat.
Anyway, we need to move on. Comfort. Like I've discussed this already. Be comfortable. Okay, like,
And one thing,
no, we have 8 minutes. Okay, I gotta get through this. Like seriously. Okay, comfort. Okay, like if you join a group, okay, here's a little thing here. Say you're like totally like a yaoi lover, like oh my god, guys, yeah. And then but you join a group where they're like the people are like, oh ew, yaoi, like that's nasty. Yaoi's beautiful. Like you're gonna be like the people, you're gonna be the person who kind of makes them uncomfortable because you're like, oh boy, like let's crossplay and do that blah blah blah, or like I would suggest joining a group that doesn't have issues with things that you're really like into like yaoi, yuri, like
Kamen Rider.
furries, like if you're a weeb.
yeah.
And like especially like when it gets more personal, like like if they have like a serious issue about like your sexual orientation, like it's not the most comfortable situation, So I would just like if you're in an uncomfortable situation and it's that serious, I think you need to like step out of the group or try to resolve it. Though I don't think you're going to be able to convince them that like, being bisexual is okay or like blah 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 if they really have an issue with it.
Yeah.
So I would just like step out, like back away, like don't have like the whole argument that's been done so many times before because I don't think it's going to work. I mean, just from seeing so many arguments before.
Yeah, something you can put when if you're seeking cosplayers too, is that if you're okay with people who are, of a certain sexual orientation or, certain interests like yaoi or something, put that in there because it's going to save you so much trouble.
Also, another thing. Thank you, Paul. Anyway, another thing that has to do with comfort in cosplay groups is that you have to have people that are around your age. If you have someone who's like incredibly older than you, it doesn't really work. This is our age limit right here. This is 19, 14. Youngest to oldest, that is our limit. If we accept anybody older or younger, it gets awkward.
It used to be 13.
Yeah,
Used to be.
Not 13 anymore? No, she's
No way. See, there we go, I couldn't tell.
I know. How old did you think she was? How old did you think she was?
When I first met her, I thought she was 17.
Okay.
But that was last year.
The oldest we got was 25. Really? I got the thing from. Okay, guys. Okay. Hey, does anybody have questions like really quick? You guys can talk to us afterwards as well if any questions.
We'll hang out.
Later on.
When I went to
about the seal ring.
Yeah.
I have a question. So I want you to look at it. Can you look at it and tell me if you think it looks good?
Is it a ring?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
All right, any other questions?
Oh my God, Joy. Do we have questions while they do that? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, what if you were in a cosplay group and it was like relatively big group, but and they didn't have anything going on, like it just
Bang.
started, and then maybe like a couple months later, they send you just a random
I'm done.
like Facebook message saying you have been removed from this group, and then they list like various reasons of why you could have been, but they don't like confront you personally. How do you deal with that kind of stuff?
Honestly, if they're gonna be like that, like they haven't been active, they haven't been talking to you, they just kind of like didn't bother like trying to work something out. I think that they have their like,
You're so much cooler than that.
it's just not like, it's just a lot of drama because like.
Might be some inner circles too.
Yeah, like, I just think don't waste your time. find people that will talk to you, find people that are active, find people that will like, you know, like just communicate well. Because there's a lack of communication, and it's been months that the group's been doing this. You know, it's kind of a waste of time.
The sad thing was it actually ended up being sent out to like 6 members, and it's like a 12-member group. So half the people got removed.
Wow.
So it was probably my guess here is that there was probably like a group that separated themselves from like people that they didn't talk to or something, you know, and kind of made, oh, this person's, you know, they could have just made like a little group in the, you know, the group. I just think it's kind of like not worth it, because if they're gonna do
That
that,
happened like last year, I think. It was part of the big group.
yeah.
They did have one cosplay thing, but my costume, I didn't finish it in time, and so I wasn't able to do it. And then they got really mad at me, and I was like,
Yeah. If they're gonna get mad at you, you're not gonna finish it, you know, you work in your time, like, you know.
It felt like it might have been like a really serious, like overly serious group. And I mean, like, if you don't, if they don't tell you that in the beginning, it's kind of hard to keep up with it, and it's not really fair to you.
Or they could be a group that didn't have enough experience. I mean, because if there was a huge lack of communication, you know,
Yeah, I mean, if
they might have like thought they were serious. But it's like you're serious. But yeah, it's not worth it. Like find a group that, you know, like it's.
or what about like cosplay groups who have like their members, but then they invite like outside people to do the cosplays instead of their members?
No, that shouldn't. Members, in my opinion, should have huge priority over collaborators. Huge priority over. Like, you know, say, you know, like for us, we do Soul Eater cosplay, and you know, like, I had Cosplay Kid, you know, for the group, but, you know, like, I chose to do Soul, so then, like, we have a collaborator. But if someone else in the group wanted to take up Kid, you know, it's their spot, because it's our group. Are you a monkey?
Because we were doing a Kudoshitsuji group, and they emailed out the poll, so like you have to register real quick and say this character, you have to take up the character as quick as you can, so that no one else in the group takes it up.
come, first serve.
Yeah, kind of
Yeah,
that.
that's
And then,
really bad.
and then he sent it also to some of his personal friends,
No.
and then they got the character that I had paid $200 for a costume for.
That's wrong
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're in a group, I think you have the first choice.
You have priority.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't have gone to collaborators until they had gotten all the group to say, oh, I want to be this person, oh, I don't want to participate in this group, you know.
Second, a first come, first serve basis is really, really bad. Clearly, this person just wanted to get the cosplays done, and more than, you know, want to have like a really good looking group, he just kind of wanted, oh, I need someone to play this character, this character, this character, this character, so we can take a picture.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, you want to have like variety, like you don't want to have too many duplicates. I mean, sometimes you do have,
Right. Thank you, everyone.
紅茶をちょうだいついでにフランスワインをするぜおいおいロシアクラスをちょうだい